Right. So crystal shapes. Well, I know Roger works heavily and loves his crystal shapes. Then how does the live work? I'm just doing a talk basically on crystal shapes, their powers, etc., because they can be beneficial for self-healing, for healing others, for development, lots of different reasons. But I'm doing it mainly so they can ask questions with supporters that are on Zoom with me, and it was more leaving this as a track record so I can go back and post it in other places and not have to do the talk again if I ever want to share the video, etc. So that's why it's kind of going live, but not to my main page. So crystal shapes. Many different crystal shapes. A crystal shape can determine the direction, spread, and give an additional level of metaphysical energetic properties by emanating from the crystal because of how they've been carved. Or formed, not all shapes have been carved, but the shape then can really add another level or layer or extra dimension to the healing that a crystal can offer. It can maximize the potential healing properties or amplification of energy benefit that a crystal can offer by itself. So, free forms, we'll go with that first. Free forms come in many different shapes and sizes, unsurprisingly, but free forms and flames. So, free forms, they come in many different shapes, sizes. They're irregular, smooth, carved shapes of crystal. They radiate energy outwardly in multiple directions. They're also usually very pleasing to look at as decorative or display crystals. You can then get obelisk or tower crystals. An obelisk has got something wonderful. What might that be? Something that really benefits it. It's the single terminated point. So much like a tower, you can stand up vertically on its own. An obelisk flows the surrounding energy in through its base and upward and outward from the point at the top. Therefore, they can be good for raising the vibration in a particular space or room. These are good for channeling energy when used with an intention, for example, as part of a larger crystal grid. The obelisk gathers the energy from the grid and sends it up to the universe to let the universe know what you want to attract. Obelisks are an ancient shape said to connect the physical and spiritual realms. I would also say with that, say within your arms, with the intention, you can actually gather information in through that single point, or you can turn it facing yourself for healing. Double-ended points can be better, but then you can't stand them up. So for an ornamental piece, if it's in your hands, etc., you can use it as an antenna. So, continuing then the single terminated points. A single terminated point flows energy through it in one direction. You can use them for sending healing energy, for releasing energy blocks or dense energy, or for bringing in energy to recharge and re-energize, especially your auric field. You can also use them to direct energy within a crystal grid. And as I'd already mentioned, double terminated points. A double pointed crystal can flow energy in and out. So it flows energy in both directions. This can aid clearing energy blockages and releasing stagnant energy. It can also help bring in fresh energy to re-energize your auric field or chakras. It can also help with channeling or connecting spirit. As this crystal shape has multiple capabilities, it's important to set an intention as you work with it. Are you releasing energy? Calling energy in. So I have got a lot of double terminated points, but it's all in one crystal type. That's Herkimer diamond, which I use to magnify other crystals that I carry around. So it's in and out. So it's pointing towards me, but it's bringing the energy from the universe, which then magnifies and amplifies the power of the other crystals. Spheres. Now, I never suggest playing football with a crystal sphere. It'll hurt your foot if it's a big one. But sphere, a carved sphere emanates energy in equal amount in all directions. It's a great choice for sending energy into a room or placing beside the bed or under a treatment table. They generate an energy of wholeness and completion, which can aid healing or transmuting scattered energies within a space. Crystal balls are also used for scrying, gazing upon, or within to perceive information from the spirit world. Now, when I was developing, I carried my amethyst ball, from my favourite, carried that around everywhere with me. See, I know they're saying terminate points and whatever can bring energy in, but I was developing, I was trying to get my range up so I could perceive messages from spirit easier. So because it was round, no edges, getting the energy in, I would have said it was aiding my aura, etc., to keep it more consistent in order to get messages coming in. So I always imagined that the energy was like the amethyst, but it was much bigger around me, which I think really aided. I do often look into it, it's always in front of me, but, and it's always showing me different things. I've got a gentleman in it now. But, so it's got multiple uses. I probably should work with it more. Which is always good when I'm doing talks like this. It does remind me of certain things that I do know that I don't do myself that I can then redo. So, there's spheres. Now, another quite popular crystal shape is angels. An angel carving or carved wings can help connect higher guides, ascended masters, and obviously angels through amplifying your intentions. The more you use a particular crystal with a set intention, the more it's kind of programmed, or the stronger that effect can become. You may wish to connect with Archangel Shamanic. He can help. He can always help. By using a rose quartz angel or a clear quartz, because he can bring love. You can connect to Archangel Uriel to help illuminate and uncover your spiritual path. Of course, having a crystal with a specific intention means you can go back to it for that particular purpose. Yes, you can have one that can work for this, that, and the other, like work for a general. But if you've got a specific crystal for a specific connection or purpose, it'll always be more powerful than one that does anything and everything. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Joanne. Now, clusters or drues. That's a natural crystal cluster. It's made up of more than one crystal point, which have grown, fused together in some way, and this amplifies energy. It can also send the energy in different directions. It can help raise and transform the vibration in a space and uplift the energy. They're often used in channeling to raise the vibration of the medium and form a strong, clear connection with spirit. They're a great choice for re-energizing a room or particular space. Drues is where multiple small crystals are formed on a rock surface, which again amplifies the connection to healing and uplifting energy. Like small carpenter crystals, all working to raise the energy. Powerful little team forming one united crystal drues. I believe that they don't actually necessarily need to be the same crystal. You could have different crystal types that have made the drues. That's correct, isn't it, Rog? Thank you. And now, geodes.
Yeah.
A naturally formed geode is where crystal points form within a hollow encased rock, outer shell. These geodes are then opened up to show the natural display of smaller crystals within. Much like a cavern, they generate and amplify the energy from within, giving off a constant gentle healing energy into a space. They can offer a harmonious, uplifting energy to a room. They can also offer an energy of growth due to the fact that these crystals grew and grew from within and previously enclosed space. They can aid the energy in a meditation or spiritual working zone. So, a church or a cathedral, not the religious type, an amethyst church or cathedral. Amethyst geodes, which grow tall and thin, are often labelled up as a church or cathedral quartz. This name comes from their likeness to a cathedral or church archway. They are geodes which form the same way as the other geodes. But when opened up, they have many, many points within. And some would say, due to the size of these particular geodes, that the energy could significantly raise the vibration within a room. I would say definitely does. They can often be found in pairs, where an enclosed geode has been opened up and then sold as a pair. So they managed to break it kind of symmetrically. Heart-shaped crystals, or heart-shaped carved crystals, are of course greatly beneficial for healing matters of the heart. I would suggest for warm energy to do with healing of any kind. They're also great for love and emotion issues. They radiate a gentle, loving energy outwardly, so are great for carrying, wearing as jewelry, gridding, or placing directly on the heart chakra. Large crystal hearts are great for placing under the pillow for a peaceful sleep. A rose quartz crystal is great for that. They're also great for programming or tuning specific energies. The heart will then hold that vibration. We often use them in Reiki and then give them to the client to take home after the session. Because they're programmed already. Eggs. Egg-shaped crystals. The carving is often used for healing and balancing of the feminine energy, healing emotions, self-healing and self-worth issues. They can be used to promote fertility and fertile creative energy for growth and expansion in many areas of life, or to usher in new cycles and new beginnings in life. Eggs also offer a calming energy for overactive chakras or repetitive emotional behaviours and traits. See, the eggs representing birth has not happened yet. That's why they're fertile. And of course, you're receiving a lot of energy. If you're a bird, for instance, when they're growing in the egg, they're receiving energy in order to grow. So they are very fertile. They can draw in a lot of energy just by the representation. And many traditions use eggs for absorbing energies. So yeah, they can absorb. So they're great for programming as well with intentions. So I don't know whether I just said that. Eggs are also can also offer a calming energy for overactive chakras or negative emotional behavioural traits. Squares and cubes. The orderly form of a square or cube can aid in bringing a balanced energy, helping to bring an organised, structured or strengthened energy. It can be helpful for the root chakra to build a strong foundation in life. It can help with grounding and centering one's energy. It can also help with the throat chakra, strengthen communication skills. Use your own intuition and have fun with crystals. The most important thing is that you believe in what you're doing. It doesn't mean you've got to believe because you're knowledge, you've just got to believe because that's all about intentions. See, cubes can also be used to draw away dense energy held within the aura. But don't forget to cleanse the crystal afterwards if you're either for yourself or if you've done it for anyone else. Finish your crystal. Pyramids. A crystal pyramid can draw away dense energies from chakras or from within an energetic space. It can also channel inward spiritual revitalizing energy. Pyramids are used often by energy healers and also in crystal grids. They can create larger energy fields or amplify the energy by linking multiple pyramids. For example, placing a pyramid either side of the doorway or the four corners of a bed or of a room, even of the house. I think we have got 4 unikites, one in either corner of the house, and by each door, each of the entrance and exit doors. It's just very protective. And of course, it's channeling in more energies. Merkabahs. It's just plain to start with. Some of you won't have heard about those, what a Merkabah is. The word Merkabah means chariot in Hebrew. When broken down phonetically, the word is said to mean light body spirit. That's very interesting. Mahaz was described as light body spirit. So something that's an Egyptian god, but that's very interesting. Sorry, I've been distracted there by spirit. So yeah, let me start again. So yeah, when broken down phonetically, the word Merkabah, it means chariot in Hebrew, as I said. But when we broke it down phonetically, it means light body spirit. The 3D Merkabah shape is a sacred geometrical symbol, 2 interlinked tetrahedrons. The Merkabah star, let me try and show you a picture because people won't necessarily be able to picture it even with that description. There we go. That's not a very good picture. That's a bit boring, but that one will do. So, share screen. That is a Merkabah. Just so you know. Hi, Matt. I'm good, thank you. Hi, Sherry. So that is a Merkabah. But the Merkabah shape is said to be to strengthen, balance, and protect the light body. It can be used to travel within whilst meditating, or to travel on the astral plane and beyond. It's like a key for the astral plane. It can take you further. Its upward pointing pyramid shape connects with the higher dimensions, and the downward pointing pyramid connects with the earth. These shapes are called tetrahedrons. But often the Merkabah, you can picture it, especially with meditations, in a circle as well. Some jewelry is made where the Merkabah is within a circle or sphere. The Merkabah promotes healing and optimum energy flow within the light body. It can aid visions and bridge higher galactic connections for insight and communication. The 2D representations of the Merkabah is the Star of David, the 6-pointed star, if anyone was interested to know. The Ankh is an Egyptian symbol, ancient Egyptian, often known as the key of life. It represents eternal life. So a crystal Ankh can symbolize eternal energy, help heal old energetic wounds, access wisdom from spirit, expand your consciousness, can also enhance your health and well-being and attract potential and abundance. A wand, often called a massage wand. I think that's what people think. Don't get confused and think you're a witch. But a wand, these smooth carved crystal wands can be very short in length, or they can be long. Energy healers use them during a session to direct the flow of energy, to release energy blockages, to optimize the energy flow within the chakras, or to balance the energies. I was going to talk about skulls, but I don't think Roger wants to know. Skulls, crystal skulls. A carved crystal skull can help connect with the spirit world, ancient ancestors, and healing guides. They help the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. They can aid communication and connection to spirit and the one creator consciousness. Skulls are often favoured for their protective, guiding, and healing properties. They can also help with meditation and shamanic journeying. It's often thought that these crystal skulls contain an individual crystal, like an individual guide or conscious energy. Whether that's the case or not, if there's a belief that it's got the conscious energy within and it can benefit an individual for working with it in that way, then that's great. Personally, I don't believe there's the individual energies in. I believe guide energies can use them, and then we put an intention on them. They're programmed when they're carved sometimes, especially if it's a skull that's based on something. But if we're using it for a particular purpose, then it's building up an intention like we would with any of the other crystals. And we can definitely make them very protective. Could use them for guidance. If that's the case and you're going to get the guidance, even your guides would step forward and they wouldn't care whether you're using that to enhance it or not. Probably like a lot could. I'm going to pick up on Roger for a minute. He's got a lot of crystal skulls. He wouldn't necessarily connect to the same ascended master with your skulls each time. You'd vary the connection to different ascended masters with your skulls.
Yeah.
But if it's perceived it's got two brains, it can be easier. If you've got a skull in your lap, for instance, you're channeling the information, it's in there. Even in your subconscious, it's like you're focusing, okay, it's received into there, now it's channeling from there to me. Okay? And it can definitely aid. They can definitely hold secret knowledge, is what I'm being given now from my guide, especially depending on the crystal that it is. Have you come across, Roger, a Lemurian quartz skull?
No, but I wish I had.
I've just been shown where the one is to go and collect data from in a meditation.
Excellent.
Remind me of that afterwards, and we can do that. But yes, so crystal skulls, they can come in all different shapes and sizes. They can be of human skulls, they could be of animal skulls, they could be extraterrestrial skulls, but they're beautiful. They're very beautiful. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Some of the larger ones can be expensive, but the work that's gone into it, especially when we know how hard some crystals are. What do you think if they've got they're as tough as diamond, trying to carve those into a shape that's like that, so beautiful? One mistake and it could ruin the whole job. And they've done as well, but there must have been hours and hours and hours and hours and hours gone into it. Unicorns. Unicorn crystal carvings can help find the joy and playfulness in life. They can help heal on a soul level. They can help connect with the higher spiritual dimensions. They can raise your vibration and fill your energy body with light. They also bring energy of love, faith, and compassion. They can help attract new possibilities for transformation. I go off topic now. I know an awful lot about the unicorn energy and the dragon energies, but just the representations in certain animals or figures can, just universal energy wise, automatically have a good starting point for certain energies coming in and the benefits that they can give to others. It doesn't even matter on what crystal they're carved from. Like with the unicorn, as I just said there, the playfulness, the joy to life, that you could then magnify that with the actual crystal it is carved from. If you were looking individually, you might know that you want a crystal of a certain shape and it needs to be amethyst or whatever it really can amplify. Dragons. Dragon crystal carvings can aid with spiritual transformation, protection, magical manifesting, astral journeying, healing, deep emotional traumas, and connecting to universal energies. For animals in general, carved animal crystals are often more expensive than similar sized non-animal crystals. So what may be the benefit of an animal carved crystal? First of all, you might choose one for aesthetic purposes because you like the animal. But from a metaphysical point of view, a carved animal crystal can help channel the energies associated with a particular animal. Here's some examples. A butterfly. Transitions, change, new beginnings. So maybe you're trying to move forward in life, claim your power back. A caterpillar turns into a butterfly. So the butterfly is the representation of that change, that positive change has already happened to a beautiful butterfly. So if you're then doing that and you're putting your intention, that's what you're trying to achieve, even if you're not thinking of the butterfly, but you're using that energy of a crystal with that animal, it can bring change and transformation for you in a very positive and beautiful way. A bear. That's characteristics: strength, resilience, courage. An eagle. Perhaps you can't see what's around and you need to, or you keep forgetting. Okay. Eagle, focus, strength, helps overcome obstacles because they can see clearly. So it's vision. A camel. A camel can bring endurance, patience, and cooperation. A chameleon, shape-shifting, adaptability. A panda, playfulness, joy, willpower. If you're wanting to know anyone's curious about a panda, why are they known for willpower? Bamboo. They will never eat the whole plant. They'll leave it so it can always regenerate. And that's some willpower, so then they might have to go off somewhere else in order to find food, but they will not eat the whole of that plant. So they know how to keep it so it can come back. So they're not destroying their food. But I always wondered that, and that's something I knew from the past, so I thought I'd enlighten. Birds, freedom, expansion, self-expression. Elephants, wisdom, strength, unity with others. Could often, if you were studying, it can give you energy to help take on board all new knowledge. Because elephants never forget. A lion, bravery, strength, protection, power. A rabbit, fertility, vitality, creativity, productivity. A dog, loyalty, companionship, harmonious interaction with others. A cat, insight, intuition, freedom, independence. A wolf, likewise independence, but they've always got a direction. They're resilient. They're great for psychic intuition and spiritual protection. A turtle, slow and steady growth, consistency, abundance, wisdom, patience, peace. A monkey, playfulness, agility, openness. I never thought of that one before, but perhaps a goldfish, if you want to try and let go of energy, let go of memories. But water animals, such as dolphins, whales, and fish, often symbolize spiritual growth and expansion, communication, confidence, playfulness, and social interaction. And an ushering in of abundant energy potential. It can also help heal emotional issues and help you stop resisting to change, help you go with the flow. I know I could keep going on and on and on with regard to the shapes, but I hope that's giving you a bit of an insight into shapes of crystals, how they can amplify the crystal, but it doesn't matter which way around it is. You could know that you want this particular shape, then you've got to decide which crystal you want it in. Or you might have the crystal and think, right, I want this intention, how can I amplify that crystal power? Oh, what shape should I put it in? So it could come from either or. Or you might know that you want a particular crystal. Let's go back to amethyst. And shopping around, it's like, you can get to feel a crystal, it's much better than seeing them online anyway. But if you do get them online, try and connect, and don't just go for one that might not be the picture of the one you're getting. Try to make sure that if you are buying one online, you get to see the actual crystal that you're going to receive. Because you're reading the energy then of that one that you can see. But yeah, if you know you're after a particular crystal, try and look at many and see you might be drawn to a particular shape. And always go with your intuition. Does anyone want to ask anything at all with regard to crystal shapes? Any of you supporters?
I was wondering what a frog was.
A frog. It's they live in ponds. Their back legs are quite long compared to the front. They can come in many colours. Some of them you can get tree frogs. They're very poisonous.
Yeah.
But you mean with regard to crystal, right?
Yeah.
They're normally with regard to transformation as well, a bit like a butterfly, except for maybe not with the beauty, but transformation because they come from tadpoles. So perhaps if you've got to grow and move forward, you're being called walk talk because it's grown from a fish, coming from somewhere and going somewhere because you've got the representations of the legs.
All right, because I bought my daughter one a few weeks ago.
To eat or just as a pet or as a crystal?
As a crystal. I hope she hasn't eaten it, but just as a crystal.
But yeah, that's. But you should have known that. We've discussed frogs before. We've even gone through it in development.
Yeah, I think it was me intuition. I got her one. I got myself one.
Okay, now well, there you go. You told me afterwards. It was the there you go. So your intuition got it correct. What crystal was it made from?
Like a jade.
So you've got a jade frog.
Tiny. It's just little, tiny.
And do you already know what the jade crystal meaning is?
I can't remember.
Well, it's often known as the stone of heaven. Okay. Make sure I'm correct. I don't know everything off the top of my head. So I'm going to double check in case I go down the wrong path. It's can bring balance. Good for feng shui.
Right.
Brings balance to life and strength, luck, good health. Great healing properties.
Excellent.
A lot of people actually believe with jade that it's bad luck, or it was known in the past to be bad luck to buy it for yourself. That's a myth. But it's meant to bring joy and happiness. So now, if you're then putting those two crystals together, a jade crystal frog, With amplify, because they've got a lot of the meanings themselves the same. I'm just checking whether there's actually any additional. I'm curious. Alison's got me curious.
Yeah, it's Roger's fault.
Okay, it's an extremely powerful feng shui crystal when it's with the in jade. So prosperity, and it doesn't necessarily mean financial, but it could be. So prosperity in all life brings in good luck. Did it have 3 legs or 4, Alison? I'm being serious.
It was sitting. I think it just was the original frog with 2 legs.
When you have a look again, I think you're going to find it's only got 3.
All right.
Which should amplify the power, because it's even better. It's even better luck to have a 3-legged toad.
I've got a 3-legged toad at the back door, but it's not jade.
It's called Chanchu in Chinese. And this mythological creature is said to appear every full moon near homes that will receive good news of increased wealth. Placing the frog inside the front door, facing inwards, symbolises money coming into the home, or at least prosperity. But then you'd need a jade coin that is placed in its mouth, and you find the right place in your home or office. So it does still come with jade, no matter what other make it is.
Well, I need to find.
Make it work.
I have to find the jade coin then, because it's got
for
a
prosperity
Chinese.
in all areas. It's for growth and abundance. It's very calming and nurturing as well. Stay power, willpower, and balance when you put those energies together. Tranquility, peace, happiness. And it's also protective and helps to resist evil.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. Which I believe then is more relevant. I thought it'd have an extra kind of description to it. Right, now I've lost this. Anyone else with a question at all? Come on, Rog.
How about moon-shaped crystals? Like your crescent moon.
Like that. Oh, you mean the crescent moon?
Yeah. Not a full moon.
It's like I've covered that in sphere. No. How do you know whether the moon is waxing or waning? When it's carved. I'm just returning an awkward question with another awkward question. Because you can turn the crystal around. So you've got to turn the crystal around, and so it can be benefiting. So answer in itself, a waxing moon and a waning moon, either that's something coming out of your life or something coming into your life. Okay, so that can amplify the power. If you're trying to make change and you're using a moon shaped crystal, then that can amplify either you try to get rid of something or you're trying to manifest something into your life. But then I would say you'd want to be using that in tune with the moon cycles itself. So I feel that you'd only be going, it's not going to have just one intention on a moon shaped crystal. I would have said it would need to be someone that's got some knowledge of the moon and of the crystal and what purpose they're trying to use it for. They will probably reprogram the crystal with intentions in alliance with the moon. It's a very good question, but I could then talk about that one for a good hour on its own with it. I haven't got a crystal like that, but yes, it could amplify it, especially if someone was just getting into the moon cycles and the powers of them. You can throw your intentions into that. It can help with memory. It can help with bringing what the changes you want. But yes, you could turn it around. I would have said then you would need a sphere as well, probably 2 spheres. So you've got the full moon and the new moon when there is no moon. But you've got then the waning and the waxing that could be reprogrammed for those other phases. So if you've then got the 2 crystals, this is where you are with the energy. This is where you're trying to get to. And this is the process with the carved moon shapes. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Great.
I wouldn't have been able to answer that without my guide. Thank you, Roger. Con, what's your second question? Because you've got another shape you were thinking of.
A bowl.
A ball?
A bowl. Bowl.
Okay. A bowl.
Crystal bowl.
Funny enough, I was thinking about a bowl when I was going through that. And I don't know whether this is the bowl you were thinking of, but I've got a Knights Templar obsidian bowl that was in mind. Now, obsidian's extremely hard on the scale for crystal. To make a bowl out of some crystals like obsidian will take an awful long time, even nowadays with all the tools. Historically, so if you could get your energy, get an old one, they would have had to have had so much energy put into them to create that shape, a bit like a skull, although it's plain, just a bowl. You might think just a bowl, but to get that shape, especially if it's historical and a hard crystal, that had some intention and some purpose in it. So what was it being made for? So a bowl often could have been ceremonial. It's not going to be to get your soup in it or to eat from unless you're wealthy. It's going to be some purpose. To hold something because of the time that would have gone into actually trying to carve it. See, if it was weak on the scale of crystal, then it'd break when you were trying to make the bowl. So it really can only be made from certain types of crystal in the first instance. It can't be water soluble, and a bowl normally you'd identify putting something in. So a crystal bowl could be, you could, if it was a big enough piece of selenite, if you've got a selenite bowl, for instance, that purpose of a bowl could be to put other crystals in, keep them cleansed, keep them energized. But that's more the crystal leading the purpose of the bowl. But the bowl's purpose, anything that would be carved, would be to keep something in it. So the crystal would generally be for energizing whatever was going in to it. So if we go back to the Knights Templar of the obsidian, they probably would have put, well, let's think positively and say water in it for a minute. But the intention there would have been with regard to blessing. And plus that intention, they would have known the purpose of why they were making it when it was being carved. So it's had that intention placed into that bowl for the whole time it was being made. I think it would have taken, when it did create, was one that they have found, the Knights Templar did have. I think they said it would have been impossible for one man to have made in his life. So it would have taken about 60 years or so to make. Well, one man couldn't do it because he needed to slept. So I think it would have taken literally about 40 to 60 years to have made carved this bowl out. So that's some purpose if you weren't going to then see the benefit in your lifetime. Dedication. Apparently that's come back from tradition, because if you went to the Buddhist monks, the monasteries there, most of them have got bowls like that as well, often bigger. Some of those could have taken about, in the past, 200 years to have made, carved out. I would like to see one of those. But then, like I said, it's putting something into it. So that there, if you were talking about that for like water, here that's nothing particularly going in. What's so valuable about that? But then if they're using that water for a purpose, then the bowl's already got the intention to program the water. But sometimes it could be the other way around, that you're using the bowl to protect from other energies getting in. So say you wanted to magnify energies into a room, you could have a crystal quartz bowl, put crystals into that. And the crystals are going to, especially if it got carved, depending on what carvings were then on the exterior of the bowl, to be pushing the energies out. But what significance of a bowl, Roger, in what were you actually thinking? Had you got a purpose with regard to a bowl or a crystal with regard to the bowl? And then that would actually determine, that's one shape that really would be kind of a little bit more flexible on what it was actually trying to achieve. But normally it's to do with whatever's in the bowl and what you're trying to use it for. So you know, if you could have a crystal bowl to keep your tarot cards in, for instance, if you wanted, or you have other crystals, or your fruit. Depending on the crystal, it could keep the fruit a lengthier period before it went off, especially if you'd attuned the bowl to be doing that as a purpose and maybe put energetic energies in Reiki or Shem, that could really work that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
I did come across something the other week with people had sworn by putting ancient symbols into your diesel tank. It was meant to increase mileage. I thought, well, yeah, right. I don't understand where healing energies come from exactly, but that one I did think, well, then we've got to give it a go. I was open-minded, thought, well, let's just see. I did. It was as if I got five extra in the tank free. I'm not joking. All I asked for, my intention was to give me a better range and more economical fuel. And that wasn't even over a full tank. Full tank, that was like an extra fiver off of about 35 quid worth of diesel. That was a bigger percentage than just like a full tank gave me an extra 20 miles or whatever. It wasn't. That's why I was actually pretty shocked. So, and that's not putting an intention into anything other than the product. So if you've got a bowl, or for instance, that's why they're giving me this. So a bowl then to keep something in, that could already be programming whatever else it is that you're trying to program, so to speak. And we come to you in a second. To you. So does that answer your question with regard to bowls, Roger?
Yes, it does.
Please tell me you haven't been thinking about a crystal banana now and you want to know what that means. Or an apple. I've seen crystal apples and things like that.
No,
I think that's more. I was going to say, because if you ask me that one, I'm going to tell you that's purely ornamental.
Yeah, I was thinking crystal blade.
A crystal blade is in like a knife.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good one. I didn't have that down. Now, this one I'll probably keep safer than most of my other crystals. So I do have. You're meaning something like this, Roger, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So its purpose to me, I only use it for healing. Cutting away something. I would have said healing at an extreme advanced stage. I wouldn't use it in necessarily just a general Reiki healing or a general Sachem healing. More on there's a serious health issue that needs cutting away. So I'd put my absolute faith in it. I won't use it particularly myself. I would drop with my guides coming forward to more use it with it. So it's the intention of the knife, as if the intention is then cutting away at the physical body, but was obviously only working on the spiritual level. And some of the results, I think you've seen this when you've helped me with working on some of that, Roger. But
So psychic surgery.
yeah, let me give an example. Like there was a lady, she'd been waiting for an operation for, I think I was told, about 7 or 8 years. She got a tumour by her spine. And I think it was also connected to her kidney and liver. It was big. She'd been told she needed to lose weight. She lost the weight. Still told she couldn't have the operation. She begged them for another scan, and I ended up having the day before the scan. I think you might have helped. Tom, I don't know whether you did. I think Marie might have helped me with that. So psychic surgery wise, with this, I picked up. She didn't tell me what the problem was, but it was attached to the organs of the spine. The intention. It went around spiritually. The tumor, she had a scan not long before. It was like a month. She just like, well, you can't be telling me no just because that's too dangerous. She went back and the x-ray, this big lump had moved. So there was about half an inch gap from her spine, half an inch gap from her kidney, half an inch gap from her liver. And they took her in for the operation that afternoon and removed her. So don't ask me how that works, but it is the intention. So that purely the crystal here on this, it's selenite. So that's all means it's always charged. It's cleansing, it's energized, it's perfect clearing energies. And cutting cords would be the only other thing that I perhaps would use it for. So that would be the benefit of a blade shaped item. I would occasionally use the wand, because it would almost be like miracle what you're asking the blade to do. So I would sometimes use a wand to call in every energy possible and try and direct it as if the wand was then producing. I've got a wand. A wand that I would think of as like being like a laser that we might cut something with. So there's double intention going in. But I don't really have to deal with any of those consciously anymore. My guides will step in. They still use the tool though. So I'd be called to have the blade in front of me, even though I might step out and be in a trance-like state and the guide stepping forward to the healing. They still use the tools as I would. So it's all about the connection through. It makes sense, really, if we can think outside of our own minds, so to speak. But all energy is interlinked. All energy is all one, even if we're in the physical body still. So step out of the physical body, we can reach another physical body, but we can't think any issues on the physical body are going to be caused by an energy. So it's actually dealing with the energy can then fix the physical body, not actually cutting something out of the physical body. So if someone said psychic surgery and they're reaching in with their hands and got blood all over them and there's no scars on it, I would have said that's staged. I would have said, yes, it's quite possible that you might end up with like a kidney stone come from distance, something in the hand and got it out of the body. But it's all being done on an energetic level to see the rewards and the benefits on the physical level. And that's kind of with the knife. That would be the knife. So another lady has asked, what are the benefits of having rose quartz and amethyst together? Just as crystals, not shaped into anything. If you're talking the benefit of them, if you had got them and it was just like, well, why have I got them by the side? Rose quartz could be your heart chakra. The amethyst, some would say third eye, some might say crown, but it's going to work with your higher chakras. Heart. So with that, you might have an issue you could be developing. So you might have to be coming to terms with loving all. Not that people aren't loving, but it's hard to love someone that's done maybe something in our minds that's wrong. But that could be why you've got an amethyst, to see things in a higher perspective. Let's try and see things from a heart's perspective rather than the mind's perspective. So that's one reason you might have those together. It could be that you need healing of the heart because you've been hurt. It could be the rose quartz and you're bringing the energy from the amethyst down in order to strengthen the heart. So really, the rose and the amethyst together, if you haven't got them by purpose, can be energizing your heart. And I would have said that because they're linking the mind and the heart. With those two crystals in particular, they're probably the most represented for the higher chakra and the heart. So that's trying to say, stop listening to your mind and listen to your heart. It's to get the balance back. It would be about balance with those two. I don't think there's any other questions on the Facebook there. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Those are watching on Facebook. And I will say good night to you all. And do remember, if there is anything, especially as we've just been finished, crystals can be extremely powerful with regard to healing. So most probably wouldn't know that I'm Reiki, spiritual and shamanic healer. So if there is any issues that you want to try to get over or think you need some help with, get in touch. Lots of love, all of you. Do have a great weekend. This is the last day of week tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.